The AH-64 Apache is a groundbreaking twin-turboshaft attack helicopter designed in the United States, revered for its versatility and lethal performance. Although its formal service began in the mid-1980s, the Apache's story took shape nearly a decade earlier, tracing a path of development that revolutionized modern aerial warfare. Armed with advanced sensors and a powerful 30mm chain gun, it quickly became the backbone of attack helicopter fleets around the world. Today, the Apache's silhouette, with its distinctive tailwheel-type landing gear and tandem cockpit for 2 crew members, is instantly recognizable. Understanding how the Apache achieved this legendary status requires exploring its initial design, the influences behind its breakthroughs, and the series of improvements that have kept it on the cutting edge. In the early 1970s, the United States Army was looking for a next-generation attack helicopter to replace the AH-1 Cobra. The Vietnam War experiences revealed a need for something more agile, heavily armed, and resilient. This quest led to the Advanced Attack Helicopter Program, aiming to surpass the Cobra in both firepower and survivability. Several aerospace giants competed for the contract, but it was Hughes helicopters that would eventually stand out. They presented the Model 77 prototype, which evolved into what the world knows as the AH-64 Apache. The Army's interest in better anti-armor capabilities, extended range, and night attack features shaped early Apache development. Engineers devoted countless hours to crafting a helicopter tough enough to survive frontline environments where surface-to-air threats were abundant. These design requirements guided the Apache's shape and performance. It would need a powerful rotor system, redundant critical systems, and the latest in targeting sensors to defeat tanks or armored vehicles from standoff distances. The Model 77, later tested under the prototype designation AH-64, first took flight in late 1975. By the mid-1970s, the Army had selected it over a Bell competitor, clearing the road for full-scale production. When full production was authorized in the early 1980s, McDonnell Douglas took charge after purchasing Hughes helicopters. Building on rigorous Army testing, the new production variant, the AH-64A, began rolling off the assembly line, incorporating multiple refinements in avionics and armament integration. These included advanced sensors for nighttime operations, a robust cockpit layout that allowed either crew member to pilot or engage targets, and integrated weapons such as the AGM-114 Hellfire missile. Over time, the U.S. Army recognized that the Apache's potential far exceeded mere tank busting. Soon it was performing close air support, escorting convoys, and even carrying out covert night raids in demanding conditions. Yet, the Apache's evolution did not stop at the A model. Technological advances during the late 1980s and 1990s led to the AH-64D, famously known as the Apache Longbow. The Longbow nickname came from a distinctive radar dome perched above the main rotor, the AN-APG-78mm wave radar system. This radar significantly boosted target detection and engagement ranges, allowing crews to track multiple threats from behind cover. Equally important, the AH-64D introduced superior digital connectivity, enhanced cockpit displays, and more powerful engines. What had started as a formidable attacker quickly became a lethal networked force multiplier. One of the keys to the Apache's battlefield resilience is its armor and redundant systems. The fuselage can withstand hits from rounds up to 0.91 inches in diameter, offering critical protection in hot zones. Fuel tanks seal themselves to minimize the chance of catastrophic fire, and each crew member's seat is designed to mitigate crash impacts. Even the rotor blades combine steel and composite materials, aiming for an optimal balance of strength, weight, and survivability. While early versions faced some teething problems with rotor blade lifespans, engineers continually refined them, extending operational lifetimes and reliability. By the mid-2000s, a newer iteration emerged, the AH-64E, once referred to as the AH-64D Block 3, or simply the Guardian. It carried over the robust design elements of previous models, but added improvements in digital architecture and flight performance. The E model boasts more powerful engines, better maneuverability, and advanced systems that allow pilots to control unmanned aerial vehicles in real time. A hallmark is the ability to handle data link communications across multiple frequencies, coordinating with ground units or drones for unprecedented situational awareness. Understanding the Apache, however, means acknowledging its global footprint. While it is primarily flown by the U.S. Army, numerous allied nations have relied on the Apache to bolster their defenses. Countries such as Greece, Israel, Japan, the Netherlands, and Singapore operate various AH-64 models, each tailored to local requirements. The United Kingdom produced a license-built variant under Augusta-Westland, commonly referred to as the Apache AH-1, distinguished by British-specific modifications like folding rotor blades for shipboard operations and different power plants from Rolls-Royce. Elsewhere, the Royal Netherlands Air Force integrated custom self-protection systems and contributed to NATO-led missions in Bosnia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Israel has a notable history with the Apache, acquiring it during the 1990s. The Israeli Air Force recognized the Apache's potency for counterinsurgency and anti-armor missions, deploying it in Lebanon and the Gaza Strip. Israeli Peton, the local name for the AH-64A, and later Saraf, their AH-64D, carried out precise strikes, sometimes drawing international scrutiny for their role in targeted operations. Over time, Israeli Apaches were upgraded to include unique indigenous electronics, communications suites, and the ability to fire locally developed missiles like the Spike. The synergy between advanced American hardware and Israeli customizations enhanced the Apache's capabilities in urban or asymmetric conflicts. Moving eastward, both Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have used the Apache extensively. In Saudi Arabia's case, early involvement with Apache helicopters dates back to the 1990s, and the fleet has seen action along border regions, most notably countering threats during complex regional conflicts. The United Arab Emirates similarly maintains a fleet of AH-64s, focusing on protecting strategic interests. Their deployments have tested the Apache's reliability in desert climates and contributed to multinational coalitions where interoperability proved essential. In Asia, major operators include Egypt, India, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. Egypt's Air Force secured its first deal in the mid-1990s, and these aircraft played roles in patrolling unstable areas. India initially leaned toward the Apache for the Indian Air Force, eventually expanding orders to equip the Army Aviation Corps as well. The AH-64E emerged as the chosen model, noted for advanced avionics and UAV control features. Japan's licensed AH-64D variant introduced changes like Japanese-made sensors and sometimes different weapon configurations, though high costs limited total production numbers. South Korea acquired Apaches in the mid-2010s, using them as a potent deterrent on the Korean peninsula. Taiwan's purchases of the AH-64E gave it a modern edge in defense, although an accident involving cloud cover misjudgment highlighted the Apache's complexity and the need for rigorous pilot training. Operationally, the Apache rose to prominence during conflicts such as Operation Just Cause in Panama and the Gulf War in 1991. In the latter, Apaches were part of the opening strike, stealthily destroying Iraqi radar sites to pave the way for incoming coalition aircraft. Their ability to move at night at low altitudes gave the U.S.-led forces a significant advantage. During the 100-hour ground war, Apaches destroyed numerous tanks and vehicles, showcasing their lethal synergy of speed, agility, and devastating firepower. However, operating and maintaining them under harsh desert conditions also revealed logistical hurdles, including spare parts shortages. The Balkan conflicts of the 1990s again saw Apaches deployed in support of NATO missions. While they provided valuable capability, events like Task Force Hawk highlighted organizational and training shortcomings. Some Apaches crashed during training flights, leading to re-evaluations of night vision equipment and pilot proficiency. Despite these setbacks, lessons learned improved subsequent Apache operations. By the early 2000s, Apaches were in action over Afghanistan in Operation Enduring Freedom, where their ability to deliver close air support proved vital in mountainous terrain. In Operation Iraqi Freedom, beginning in 2003, Apaches faced intense engagements. Although they endured heavy gunfire in some battles, They often demonstrated resilience, limping back to base even when damaged. Upgrades have allowed the Apache to integrate with modern digital battle networks. Certain models can transmit real-time data to ground stations, designate targets for fixed-wing aircraft, and even control unmanned systems in flight. The pilot or gunner can receive video feeds from drones, effectively extending their sensor range. Such developments reflect a trend in modern militaries to fuse air and ground assets seamlessly. The Apache has frequently been at the forefront, pioneering close coordination between manned and unmanned aviation. The helicopter's weaponry includes the 30mm M230 chain gun slung beneath its belly, Hydra 2.75-inch rockets on its stub-wing pylons, and a selection of air-to-ground missiles. Chief among these is the AGM-114 Hellfire, a missile born from the concept of helicopter-launched, fire and forget, hence the acronym Hellfire. Over the decades, more variants of the Hellfire emerged, some using thermobaric warheads for urban environments. In more recent years, militaries have introduced guided rocket systems like the Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System, bridging the gap between unguided rockets and costlier missiles. Apaches can also carry air-to-air missiles, notably the Stinger, although it remains a rarer loadout depending on the operator. Some Apaches receive maritime-oriented features, reflecting the pivot of certain militaries toward littoral or open ocean operations. The British, for example, have validated Apache usage from naval ships like HMS Ocean. In other contexts, Apaches have tested their capabilities against fast-moving waterborne threats, proving that the platform can adapt beyond strict land warfare. Boeing has even studied compound helicopter concepts for the Apache, including small wings and pusher props to enhance speed and range, though these remain experimental. Among the variants, the AH-64A started the Apache legacy. Powered by a pair of GT700 engines, it carried the essential weapons suite and sensor suite that redefined helicopter combat. Maintenance challenges existed, but the aircraft's success quickly overshadowed early difficulties. The advanced AH-64D introduced the longbow radar, better digital avionics, and more robust engines. The AH-64E Guardian then further refined the formula, enabling greater speed, improved sensor fusion, and remote drone interaction. Many older A or D models have been remanufactured into E models, ensuring that existing fleets remain relevant. Across all these types, the top priority has remained giving aircrews a decisive edge, whether in conventional conflicts or counterinsurgency. Although the United States Army envisions next-generation rotorcraft through programs like Future Vertical Lift, the Apache continues to play a pivotal role. Boeing's facility in Mesa, Arizona, sustains production and modernization lines, ensuring new deliveries and upgrades for international customers. The U.S. Army itself restructured its aviation components around the Apache, phasing out older reconnaissance helicopters like the AH-58 Kiowa and delegating some scouting tasks to the Apache in tandem with unmanned vehicles. With so many Apaches deployed worldwide, accidents and losses have occurred. Training incidents, mechanical failures, and hostile fire have claimed airframes. Yet in many documented cases, even severely damaged Apaches managed to fly home, a testament to their rugged design. Ground-based threats like rocket-propelled grenades, small arms fire, or even anti-aircraft missiles have occasionally downed or damaged Apaches, prompting operational tweaks and armor enhancements. Global controversies sometimes arise around Apache deployments, particularly in environments where distinguishing combatants from civilians is difficult. Numerous militaries rely on the Apache for precision strikes, leading to debates on targeted engagements and collateral damage. Military planners, especially in nations with significant Apache fleets, balance this potent capability with strict rules of engagement and advanced targeting sensors to reduce accidental casualties. Amid all the technical talk, it's easy to forget the human side of the Apache story. The pilots and gunners who trust these helicopters with their lives, the maintenance crews ensuring they are mission-ready despite harsh climates, and the engineers whose innovations power continuous upgrades. From frigid environments in Alaska to intense heat in the Middle East, Apaches operate in a spectrum of conditions, forging personal bonds between aircrews and their machines. Now, decades after its introduction, the the AH-64 Apache remains a potent symbol of rotorcraft warfare, combining speed, lethality, and advanced technology. It has fought in dense urban environments, open deserts, mountains, and jungles, shaping and reshaping the doctrine of attack helicopter use. Whether it's a new E-model rolling out of the Boeing facility or a carefully modernized older version, the Apache line stands as an enduring icon in the aviation community. Its battles, successes, challenges, and ongoing evolutions compose a storyline that resonates with every service member who has flown or maintained these helicopters, as well as countless enthusiasts who admire its formidable reputation. From the earliest Army requirements in the 1970s to the advanced sensors and digital integration of the 2020s, the Apache has proven that adaptability is key to survival. It continues to define what an attack helicopter can be: fast, fearsome, and at the forefront of technology. As conflicts change and adversaries develop new tactics, this helicopter saga reminds us that robust engineering, relentless testing, and smart upgrades can keep a platform relevant for generations. For those who stand beneath its rotors or rely on its watchful presence overhead, the Apache signifies more than a name. It's a guardian on the battlefield, an emblem of air support, and a testament to the art and science of military innovation.